Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Heights at Night. My name is Nathan Morris, and I am going to be your host for this evening. So, for any new viewers out there, Heights at Night is essentially our attempt to continually engage with you guys, to push each other on to keep engaging with the mission of Christ, and to bring a little lightheartedness into a less than ideal situation. Speaking of less than ideal situations, I am currently working and recording from my small 5x5 apartment in Joplin, Missouri. It's very close quarters. So, if you hear anything like a blood-curdling shriek or weapons being unsheathed, don't worry, it's just my daughter. I haven't gotten anything done all week.
Okay, my first day of working from home. I can't wait. Good thing I got this trusty journal to tell me all the things I need to get done today.
All right, fingers, get ready to clickety-clack. It's work time.
Hey, can you hold them for a minute?
Yes, I can do that.
And I was wondering if you could get me that small group material you've been working on.
Yep, got it right here, boss man.
Yeah.
Here you go. Wait. That's that's not.
I'll just call you back.
Logan, wait.
Hey, a little help?
Yep, that's totally fine. Okay, Fox. What are you doing, buddy? Okay, all right. Hey, you know what? Just, make yourself at home. That's fine.
Yeah, Nathan, I've been meaning to talk to you about your productivity lately. You just seem to be really distracted and, like you just really aren't. You know what? I'll call you back.
Yes, thank
That's just hurtful.
Yeah, Nathan, I've been meaning to talk to you about how emotionally distant you feel. It feels like I'm not your number one priority. I always feel like there's somebody coming in between us, and I just really wish you'd give me a little bit more one-on-one time.
Logan, it's not. What? Isley, how did you get in here? This is password protected.
All right, I'll call you back.
Wait, Logan, wait. It's normal office hours now.
One thing done. I just gotta get one thing done today. Here we go. Let's try it.
Hey babe, can you help me get the dishes done? And I think Isley needs to be put down for a nap. And can you help me feed Fox? And I think we need to take the trash out. And maybe the toilets need scrubbed.
Honestly, that list looks the exact same right now. Guys, I'm so excited for our show tonight. It's going to be awesome. We've got an interview with medical professionals about COVID. We've got a Rick Bushnell devotional. We've got a new challenge for you guys to engage with this week. But before we start any of that stuff, I'm going to throw things over to Cy for a quick update. See you guys soon.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Heights at Night. This is your update from Cy and Jerry. Can you say your name? Jerry. Can you say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi. It's good to see you. Hey, Jerry, I want to ask you a question. What holiday is coming up this weekend? What are we celebrating? Easter. And did you make a picture for everybody for Easter? What is this picture?
Of the grave.
Of the tomb? And what's special about the tomb?
Jesus.
Is Jesus in the tomb?
Uh-huh.
No, he's not. Remember? He was in the tomb, but what happened on Easter? What did Jesus do?
Rose from the dead.
Jesus rose from the dead, that's right. And so today, this weekend, we get to celebrate Jesus' death on Good Friday and his resurrection on Sunday. And so on Friday, we're going to have a Good Friday service. It'll be broadcast early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., like right even before you get up.
Yeah.
And that'll be available to watch all day long. It's from Miss Katie Marsh. You remember Miss Katie? Yeah. And it'll be, it's Campbell's mommy. And it'll be, Miss Katie will be doing a short devo and a couple songs. You can watch that anytime on Friday. And then on Sunday, we'll have Easter services at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. One other thing I want to show you. Jerry, what is this?
Verse.
Verse of the day?
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day, that's right. Every day in our family, we have 7 verses that we go over. And one of them is called Help Hurting People. Can you say help hurting people?
Help hurting people.
That's what we do as Christians, is we help hurting people, don't we? How do you help hurting people?
Give my toys away.
You give your toys away. That's pretty awesome. See, as Christians, we're called to take things that are precious of us and to give them away to help others in need. And that's why we're doing this thing called the Dollar Club. Is every week we're challenging everybody to give $1 per family member above their regular offering. How many is that in our family? We have Daddy and Mommy and who else? Dallas, our dog, Jerry, and Chandler, right? There's 4 humans, 1 dog, and we give an additional $4 above our regular offering each week to the church. And the church takes $1,000 from every offering and uses that to show compassion to people in need during this crisis. A couple weeks ago, we were able to buy desserts for Walmart workers. Last week, we spent $1,000 to help provide food for Crosslines Ministries for those in lower income. And this last Sunday had a really cool story we're going to share with you on Easter Sunday. But I just want to tell you real quick what happened was, well, someone from our church, they saw someone in need who was hurting, didn't they? Yeah, and they said, her name, I can't remember her name, but they said, hey, here's a number, a minister on call number that you can text, and they gave it to a server at a restaurant in town, and that server texted that number and told us that they were in need, and you, the church, we were able to help pay that waitress's rent for the month. We'd love to tell you more about that on Sunday, so we'll give you more insight into that, but that's what this is all about. You seeing needs of people around you. If you can't meet them, tell us, and we will help you do that. So that's a Dollar Club. You can give to the Dollar Club by giving to chjoplin.org/donate. Okay, I'm going to give it back to our crew there at Heights at Night. Jerry, can you say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you later.
So last week, the Quaddies showed us their wild contingency plans for when they run out of toilet paper. And we asked you guys to do the exact same thing. Show us what your plan is, your contingency plan for when you run out. Here are a couple of the things that you guys came up with. All right, our very, very first submission for the night are some of these party streamers. The person that submitted this said that their cat had just recently gotten done playing with them, and after they were done with it, they were going to run it through a home cleaning system. First off, easily the most colorful submission we have. Props for that. Second of all, what kind of party streamers are you buying? These things survived a party, your cat playing with them, and you're going to run it through a home system? That's insane. Usually I look at a party streamer, it immediately loses all structural integrity. I'm into it though. Second up, speaking of home systems, we got some dryer sheets here, folks. Dryer sheets are easily going to be the one that smells the best. Props for that. It says 16 garments for one dryer sheet. So if we're using it and converting it for toilet paper usage, I'm just going to let you guys do the math on that one. Finally, whoever submitted this last one knows that simplicity is key. Just a toilet with the words "go outside" on it. Yo, first of all, I'm into it. Second of all, everything in nature can really be toilet paper if you think about it. And finally, for our last entry, we have a video all the way from China. Check it out.
Hello, friends from College Heights. This is Rachel Perry, all the way from China. We're going through a lot of the same things that you guys are going through with like the quarantine and shortages. And so with the challenge for what to do about toilet paper, I thought I would give you the Chinese perspective. So if you have not done a lot of international traveling, you might not know that in a lot of places, they don't flush their toilet paper. They throw their toilet paper away. So that might seem like a small thing, but then you don't have to worry about whether or not it's flushable. So you can use anything. You can use wet wipes, newspapers, cotton balls, whatever, and then you just throw it away. But maybe take out the trash more often. So anyway, I hope this helps. Much love and God bless. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you so much for all of those wonderfully creative and very informative videos and clips of you guys. We appreciate it. Keep them coming in the future. Up next, we have got a very, very special treat for you. Siblings Improv Group, led by College Heights' very own Eric Epperson, is going to be performing for you guys here in just a little bit, doing their take on the Zoom meetings that most of us are going through right now. Check it out.
Well, hey, College Heights family. Good to see you. My name's Eric. I've got Katrina, Michelle, and Caleb with me. We're with Siblings Improv. Thanks so much for inviting us into your homes. We hope it's a good Wednesday night for you. Heights at Night, just such a great idea. We're thrilled to be a part of it. We're going to do a little improv for you here this evening. Everything you're going to see for the next few minutes is going to be completely made up on the spot. Now, a lot of companies around the world are meeting just like this via Zoom. And so we thought it'd be fun to improvise a series of Zoom meetings using some suggestions that I pulled from some friends just a little bit ago. So what will happen is I'll pull one of these cards. One of my fellow improvisers will start a Zoom meeting based upon whatever card I pull from. So these are different company types, different things that companies – I dropped one. Things that companies sell. Now, here is the catch, and you can follow along at home with us on this. We are going to begin every line of dialogue with the next letter of the alphabet. So if somebody begins a sentence by using something that starts with A, the next sentence would begin, or the next line of dialogue would begin with B, and so on and so forth. I will use this little horn here to keep score, but by all means, you follow along and make sure we're doing these things in alphabetical order. Katrina, Caleb, Michelle, you ready?
Ready.
All right.
We're ready.
Always.
See how this goes. The first company that we are going to work for sells dump trucks. Dump trucks. Begin. Well, okay, I'm sorry. We'll start with the letter G. That's what we need. We'll start with the letter G. Go.
Guys, we got to figure it out. We absolutely have to figure it out.
Golly.
Well, I think we already goofed up the delay. The delay must have stopped. All right, so we're all live now. Here we go. We're going to put that one aside. Guys, we got to figure it out. We've done one so far. All right, the next.
First time ever, guys. We messed up too.
We've never improvised via Zoom, so we're learning all sorts of new things. The next company we're going to work for sells tire swings. Tire swings. And the letter of the alphabet is going to be S.
So I appreciate y'all joining on this call today. I got to tell you that sales have been through the roof with everybody home.
To be honest, I couldn't have ever anticipated this. I just think that we really are charting some unprecedented numbers. I think the third quarter is going to be very, very good for Swingers International. Really, really positive.
Unbelievable,
really. Get wind
really.
of the scandal.
Very, very well could be. Very well could be. Every good company needs a good scandal, and boy, the Swingers International, we have one. I just never thought we would recover, but like anything, the economy just seems to swing one way and then naturally swing back the other way. So we just have to be patient enough.
Well, and that's the way it goes usually. I mean, we've seen that in previous quarters when the economy swings one way and back the other, and we've recovered very well. So I feel very strongly about how we will be producing in this next quarter, for sure.
Xavier, I know you were working on some of those numbers. Would you mind sharing those with us, please, this afternoon?
Yeah, I don't think Xavier was going to make it onto this call. I think he had to go to some kind of appointment or had a conflict. So maybe Leonard can speak for him.
You had me there for a second. I thought that Xavier was on the phone. I apologize. I didn't scroll over to see the entire screen. So, yeah, someone who is informed with these numbers, that'd be wonderful.
Zach actually just sent me the numbers. He just sent them to me. They look good. I am worried about rope production. We're going to maybe have to figure out what we can use instead of rope. Rope production is running thin.
Andy from down at the hemp factory says their new line of ropes are much stronger than they were in the past. So that
breaking up there. You're breaking up just a little bit. I didn't really catch the in there, but it sounds like Andy's on it to try to find us some new ropes. My question is, where are we going to get all these new tires that we need? I heard shipments were backed up tremendously.
Carfax, we've actually been just on the horn with them. They're not selling cars right now. Just honestly, we're getting weeks to a gallon right now. So no one's really selling cars. So they're just taking tires off of their cars and just giving them away for dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap.
Don't believe I've been anywhere in about a month, so that totally makes sense. Totally checks out. What are they doing with the car bodies? Just leaving them there in the warehouse? I guess there's really no need for those.
Ejecting them right out the back door. No use for them, so they're just
for
getting
real
them out of their
For
factories and Gosh, I've never heard of anything so creative in all my life.
Haven't either.
I was wondering if we were really going to get back to the meat of this conversation, which is, that new policy that you've been writing there, Gary. I read through it, and I don't think that the employees are going to buy it.
Just don't think it can fly right now. I don't think you can require us to wear real pants to work. I just don't think that's a thing.
Kills morale. Pants kill morale. It's the fact.
Low morale kills a business.
Maybe. But I need you to hear me out. I want Swingers International to be business on the top and business on the bottom. I think that what we do sets a precedent from the top of our head to our toes. And so I want us to be just really professional, even if no one can see us, above the shoulders. I don't think that's too much to ask, right? We are a business built upon, if you really think about it, we are a business built upon putting our legs through things. And so I want us to continue to put our legs through pants. I feel like it's at the core of who we are as a company.
Now tell me now, am I wearing real pants? You can't tell me that. So I could tell you that I am.
Oh, I know you're not wearing pants. I can tell you that. I know.
Pants, they make the man. They make the man. So I gotta believe that if you're not wearing pants, you're half the man that you could be with a good pair of trousers on the bottom half of your person.
Question, Gary, are you actually wearing pants right now?
Right now? I don't even know what our number was. Our letter was.
I think it was S.
Oh, we
It was
were
S. We got there.
We got
Yeah.
right there. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me, guys. Good to see you. So good to see you all. Good to be with you, College Heights. For Katrina, Michelle, and Caleb, I'm Eric. We'll see you later. Stay safe. Stay home. Bye.
Enough of the games. The time for Child's Play has passed. This week, we're issuing you a new challenge. I'm not talking about toilet paper. I'm talking about something that requires a little more finesse, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about the age-old art of the trick shot. I'm talking bounce it off the wall, roll it on the thing, catch it in your mouth, dunk it in the net. Trick shots, all right? We're going to show you some of our awesome trick shots, and then you send in some of yours. You can text them to 417-208-9774, or you can email any of your submissions to nite@chjoplin.org every single week. All right, let's see some of those. I'm talking bah, 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 bah. Did I make it? Did I get it in? I nailed it.
Hey, did you know Jar Jar is a Sith Lord?
Oh.
What's up, nerds? I saw your stupid trick shot video the other day. You make trick shots like people who can't do it very well.
Well, then show us what you got, old man.
Maybe I will, Natty.
Whoa! Let's take this outside. All right, little bucket on the doorknob. Here we go.
Off all these walls, into the bucket, outside.
Whoa!
Watch and learn, Pops. Into the bucket.
Boys, you just don't understand how this works, do you? Check this out. From here to the basketball goal in the office.
Okay, we're coming up to one of my favorite segments of tonight's show. One of the worst parts about living in this time with COVID is that there are so many rumors swirling around. It's really easy to be consumed with fear. We're not really sure who we should be listening to or what we should believe. So, our very own man on the street, Titus Neunschwander, is going to be asking some medical professionals in our community some very, very important questions. What is COVID exactly? How do I stay safe? How is it impacting our community? He's going to be asking all these questions and more. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go.
Good evening, College Heights. My name is Titus, and tonight we wanted to give you an inside perspective of what's taking place among our medical community. And so part of that is the joy of being able to interview two doctors who are also part of the College Heights family. So we will be asking questions of Dr. Amanda Harrell and also Dr. Josh Brigham, who are joining us today. Well, guys, if you could, a lot of us are functioning somewhat in the dark of what's going on. We watch national news. We hear a lot of things that are taking place. But can you kind of pull the curtain back and tell us, from your standpoint, what's going on locally, and what's that look like for us?
Sure. So I would say what's going on locally is mostly preparation and prevention at this point. It's a blessing and a curse to be lagging behind the rest of the world and the rest of the country in the pandemic. On one hand, we have time to prepare and we see what's coming and we can be informed by colleagues in other places on how to prepare. On the other hand, there's this anxious anticipation. It's sort of like watching a storm coming on the radar and knowing it's going to hit you. I mean, you don't know how bad the storm is going to be yet, but you know you need to prepare for it. And that's kind of the stage of the game that we're in right now.
I can echo exactly what Josh is saying. We are doing things like telehealth. In my practice, we have ramped that up exponentially, which wasn't even a thing just a few weeks ago in my practice. We expanded that across 53 clinics in the Freeman system.
Thanks, guys. So ultimately, the virus is here locally, but so far it is somewhat isolated. But obviously, we don't know how long that could be. What is something that you would like our community or our church to know? What concerns do you have that those listening you would like to share with us?
Well, I would like to steal a phrase from the children's ministers and say, please listen and obey. There are people who are working on this full-time and overtime to try to keep you safe. And they are giving you instructions, and you really need to listen. They know what they're talking about. So when they say no gatherings over 10, they mean it. When they say don't do any unnecessary business, they mean it. And they're telling you that for a reason. And I'll explain a little bit about why that is the case. Let's say you have a birthday party and Cousin Billy and Aunt Sarah come in from Tulsa. And Aunt Sarah says, Billy just has a runny nose because he's got allergies. Well, he could really be carrying COVID. And if he shares that with 10 other people at that birthday party, and then those 10 other people go home and share it with their families, before you know it, in a week's time, you could have 100 people infected. If statistics play out the way they have been, as many as 10 of those people could need critical care, and probably one of those 100 people are going to die from COVID. And so the reason we're telling you this is because we've seen how it has impacted other parts of the country, and we want to minimize that rapid spread and easy spread in our community. In part because we care about people and we don't want you to be sick, but also we understand the surge that can create in healthcare. And just by sheer volumes, people can be unsafe because healthcare can't manage the volume of people that need intensive care and critical care. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that even if we don't have a large volume of patients here right now, it is still extremely labor intensive to protect and be aware of. So we're asking you, please don't overwhelm the healthcare system by not following those rules.
I would also like to reiterate that it can overwhelm a health system if we don't take it seriously. I know it can be isolating. That's another concern that I have as a public health issue, aside from COVID, as a primary care provider that loves my patients dearly, sees my patients on the computer now as well in the hospital. But I worry about patients who are not taking care of their other chronic illnesses because they're worried about calling their doctor, going in to see their doctor because they're fearful of COVID. I also want to make sure that you're not so isolated that you're communicating with friends, you're communicating with family. Check in on, not everyone has internet access, not everyone has a phone. Check in on those people.
I want you to understand that this is real, and this isn't just the seasonal flu. If you study the disease and study what it does, it is roughly 10 times as lethal as the seasonal flu. And we need to take that seriously.
One of the things that people were asking is like, what do we do with our family? How does that work with kids? And maybe the best way to answer that is, can you guys be personable enough to say, what have you decided regarding your kids and your family about staying in and staying safe? What does that look like for you?
Well, early on, my children were basically told they have to stay home. It's not that we don't go outside and they don't enjoy sunlight and they don't see the world. But my children were isolated as far as they're not interacting with other children or other families. They're not coming in the house. They're not going to other people's homes. Just because we want to limit the spread as much as possible. So that was a rule that we set early on.
I would say we have a similar experience to the Heralds. Early on, we sort of cut off contact with other people. We had to cancel some sleepovers and some other events, and our children were sad about that. But we're trying to protect our family from illness, protect others from illnesses we might be carrying, and protect me as a resource for the healthcare pool. What that looks like practically for us is I'm not hugging my children right now. We're doing a lot of air hugs, and I'm generally keeping about a 3-foot rule within the household.
We do a lot of things to try to keep their minds, they stay busy with schoolwork, but at the same time, I believe that whatever anxieties that you as parents have are going to impart on your children, right? And so we try to just make sure that we're having fun with our kids, that whatever this memory is during this time at home that our kids are going to have, it's going to be a memory of they spent time at home with their parents, that they went on scavenger hunts, that they went outside, that they played puzzles, they did board games, that they had family movie nights, and that's what this time in their life was.
What ways can we as a church support and care for our friends who are working in the medical field?
It's hard to know how to answer that question. I guess knowing that we're supported and we're appreciated is very nice. I've seen a handful of patients in our respiratory ER annex, and they have been abounding in gratitude. I think the general public really appreciates us right now, and I appreciate that back.
I completely agree with Josh. Almost every patient that I spoke to or interacted with yesterday at the end of the visit asked how I was doing and how my kids were doing. And I mean, I have that happen on occasion, but it would catch me off guard at the end of the visit. And it was very humbling. I've gotten messages just letting me know that people are praying for me or wanting to make sure that my family is okay. And it's just a little something that keeps us going. And that's very much appreciated. The prayers, we love that. But really and truthfully just obeying and staying home and being with your families. That's the important thing.
I would say from a practical perspective, the thing that you can do for us most is, like I said before, is listen and obey. We understand you're anxious. Something that you may have ignored before, a little cough or a slight fever that you may have just blown off before, is now extremely anxiety provoking, and isolation makes that even worse. And so we understand that you're very anxious. We're a little anxious too, trying to figure out how much of what you're experiencing is anxiety versus what is a real physical symptom. And then you can, if your symptoms are not severe, you can help sort that out by phone without exposing yourself to other people in the process of seeking care.
Amanda, earlier in conversation, you mentioned that doctors and the medical community were on the front lines, but you kind of turned that around, and you want to describe that just a little bit?
Yeah, so yesterday I'd heard a physician who had said that, people had mentioned that physicians were on the front lines. And in fact, she had said physicians were the last line, that it was the people in the community that were the front lines, that public health is a prevention. And it's the community that are the front lines, that it's their job to prevent this disease from spreading and becoming worse. So it's your job, really. It's the church's job. It's the community's job to disinfect and stay home and sanitize and do all of those things. And if it worsens, then you call your doctor. And then we can help you discern what to do from there.
Well, guys, we're just about out of time, but I just want to once again express my thanks to you for giving up time, some of that precious time with family in order to share with our church family. We have so much gratitude for that. And if you would allow me, I would love to pray for you and love to pray for those who are standing beside you and in the medical community. Father in heaven, we come before you today, and Lord, we ask your power and presence to be at work throughout our entire community. But Lord, right now, we want to take a moment to lift up to you those who are serving in the medical field, in our hospitals and our doctors' offices. Lord, answering tons of questions, having huge amounts of pressures placed upon their shoulders, wondering what may be and what may become. But Father, we ask that your watchful eye never leave their side. And Father, that you would guide and direct, Lord, that you would give wisdom, Lord, that your Spirit would lead in this. Lord, thank you for Amanda and Josh sharing with us today. We pray your blessing upon them, upon their service, and upon their families. And it's in the name of Jesus I pray. Amen.
All right, folks. We're almost finished with tonight's program, but we've got one more thing to do before we go. We're going to be hearing a devotional from Rick Bushnell, one of the kindest, nicest, most spirit-filled people that you are ever going to meet. I'm always very fortunate to hear from him. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. It is so good for me to be here with you today. My name is Rick Bushnell. I have the privilege of ministering to senior adults and pastoral care here at College Heights. I want to share with you a theme that actually captured my mind and my heart when we were studying through the Gospel of John together just a short time ago. And that theme can be summed up in one short verse when John makes this announcement. The true light that gives light to every person was coming into the world. Here a short time ago, I was watching the Alaska Highway Patrolman show, one of my favorite shows, and they were talking in there about the time in Alaska, the time of the year when they only have about 3 hours, I think it's like 3 hours of light a day. And they were talking about how depression rises during that period of time. And matter of fact, they have the highest suicide rate during that time than any other state in this country. And also, because I get to work with senior adults, I work with some seniors that are struggling with dementia and Alzheimer's. And one of the things that we've noticed, many of the workers have noticed over the years, is at sundown, they become unsettled. And they really have to begin working with some of them. Some of the workers, I've actually heard them use a term, they call it sundowners. And then I know for myself, in these years of trying to live for Jesus, there have been those times when we have been in incredible crisis mode. Or there have been some times when we've been in turmoil. And one of the things that I noticed is nighttime is always my worst time. It seems like the hopelessness is stronger then. It seems like the fear is stronger then. And yet I have noticed that at sunlight during the day, those seem to not be heightened so much. My mind isn't going around and around, and I'm able to deal with those things. I'm able to deal with it with the Lord and call on His name. But it seems as though sunlight makes the difference. I believe that in a lot of ways, sunlight is one of the greatest gifts that God has given us. But from this passage in John, there's another light that's even a greater gift. And it's stated also this way in the first chapter of John, when John says, in Him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not overcome it. When I think about this light, I think about how with Jesus coming for the first time, we're able to see God as He really is. We're able to see His power and His majesty, and we're able to see that He created us in His image. And we are here for a reason. We have a purpose in life. We have a reason for living. And this light that Jesus has brought has revealed all of this to us. But this light has also revealed to us that sometimes we fail Him. Sometimes we do struggle with sin in our lives. But the light also reveals that Jesus came not only with truth, but He also came with grace. And we get to experience the graciousness of our God through the death of His Son on the cross. And that allows us to continue to fulfill the purpose that He's put us here for, even though we're not perfect people. His blood covers our sins, and we're just as if we are perfect in God's presence. It leaves us with incredible hope and promise for the future. It leaves us with our hope of spending eternity with God, someday receiving a new body and living with Him in eternity. This light is the greatest blessing that God has ever blessed us with. And that's why there's a song that we sing at College Heights that has now become my most favorite song. The chorus, these words you would recognize. Out of that darkness into your glorious day, you called my name and I ran out of that grave.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for letting me host and hang out with you tonight. I had a ton of fun with you guys at Heights at Night. Just a reminder before we go, we're looking for pictures or videos, 1 minute or less, of your trick shots. If it's a picture, we're not going to believe it, so you might as well do a video. You can text those to 417-208-9774 or email them to nite@chjoplin.org. Until next time, is there anything you want to say to the people? Good, I was hoping it was clean, but nothing's better. All right, bye guys, see you next week. Bye. Bye.